Cardano doesn't guess what computation costs, it defines it. And once you hear how, a lot of things about smart contract fees are suddenly going to make a lot more sense. So, have you ever noticed that some Cardano transactions cost basically nothing and others cost enough to make you squint at the fee and go, I wonder why it's that much? And no, it's not because the network is congested. No one is bidding against you. Nothing is on fire. What you're seeing is Cardano pricing computation itself. Today's parameter is part of that story. I'm Stephanie from Two Lovelaces and Lido Nation, here to tell you about the price step parameter. Price step is one of Cardano's network parameters, one of the many little dials that shape how the blockchain behaves. And price step does one very specific job. It sets the cost of computation inside smart contracts. Not memory, that's its partner, price mem. Price step is about processing power. So every time a Plutus smart contract runs, every logical check, every cryptographic verification, every branch of if this, then that, it's consuming execution steps. And each of those steps has a defined price. As of right now, that price is 721 divided by 10 million Lovelaces per step. And don't worry, you don't need to memorize it or even really understand it. Cardano isn't measuring your laptop CPUs or anyone else's, really. It's not guessing how fast a node is. It's using a standardized unit of work called an execution step that costs the same everywhere, every time. Here's where things get kind of elegant. Cardano doesn't price real hardware at all, even though at some point hardware will have to do that work. But instead it abstracts that computation into deterministic steps defined by the Plutus cost model. In other words, a cryptographic hash always costs the same number of steps. A signature verification always costs the same number of steps. A conditional branch always costs the same number of steps, so on and so forth, no matter where it runs. That means three important things. First, determinism. The same script always costs the same amount to run, whether it's validated on a big, beefy server or on someone's little garage setup. Second, predictability. Fees scale with complexity, not congestion. If you need more computation, you get a slightly higher fee. Less computation, cheaper. And third, this one matters for security, network protection. By pricing computation, Cardano prevents anyone from spamming the chain with super expensive scripts just because fees are low. It's basically the blockchain equivalent of saying, sure, you can run that, but you're paying for the work that you're asking the network to do. Let's ground this with a real example. So a typical DeFi swap might consume somewhere between 500,000 and 1.5 million execution steps. At today's price step, that works out to roughly 36 to 108 Lovelaces in computation costs. And that's just the computation portion, before memory cost, transaction size, or base fees. Do remember, though, that a Lovelace is 1/1,000,000th of one ADA, so we are talking about how fractions of pennies add up to make the total transaction cost. So this is part of what explains why a simple ADA transfer is super cheap and a multi-step DeFi interaction costs a little more. For developers, price step nudges you toward better design. It rewards efficient algorithms and it encourages moving heavy computation off-chain. It makes batching and smart validation patterns economically sensible. And for users, it gives you something rare in blockchain, which is predictability. You can look at a transaction and say, oh, that costs more because it does more. Price step is just one parameter, but it reflects a bigger philosophy. Cardano prices time and space separately. It prices computation based on actual work, and it treats smart contract execution like an economic resource, not a free-for-all. So next time you see that a fee is a little higher than expected, remember, Cardano isn't guessing what computation costs. It's defining it. Now stay tuned for our Song of the Week about the price step parameter from Suno.ai.
I've seen the numbers change their minds when a network's feeling tight. Same action, different answers, depending on the night. You press confirm and hope it holds. You wait to see what's true. What you thought it cost a moment ago is not what's asked of you. But there's a chain that names its rules before the work begins, that tells you what the thinking costs before it ever spins. On Cardano, every action moves in measured steps. They price the thinking plainly, call it Christ step. No rushing past the order, no paying to cut the line, just the cost of computation, counted one step at a time. Every branch of logic taken, every proof checked through, every little calculation doing what it's meant to do. Doesn't matter where you run it or the power in your hands, the work is what the work has been across the whole damn land. They don't ask how bad you want it or how fast you need to go. They asked how much the code must do, and that's what you'll owe. On Cardano, every action moves in measured steps. No guessing at the moment, that's price step. No bidding wars and crowded blocks, no surge you didn't see, just honest math and open rules for you and me. I don't need a system that tries to make a scene. I'd rather trust the ground beneath than chase what might have been. If you build something complicated, it'll take a little more. If it's light and well considered, it makes sense to the core. There's a kind of peace in knowing what the cost will be before you ever say yes, before you agree. On Cardano, every action moves in measured steps. They price the work, not the panic, yet price step. If boring means dependable, I'll take it every time. A chain that counts its thinking, one honest step at a time.